This is the Niger Athletics Weekly Podcast, a production of Making of Champions, Nigeria's leading sports media and management company.
The national trials have ended, and all eyes will now turn to the Zawisza Stadium in Poland, where the IAAF World Junior Championships take center stage from Tuesday the 19th to Saturday. And of course, we'll have Nigerian athletes there trying to make the best out of the competition in Poland. It's a cold day here in Lagos, but we're pleased to welcome you to this episode of Niger Athletics Weekly. Of course, I'm sure you're not expecting to hear my voice, but then Chris is not far away from here, so he'll still be with me on the show. So Chris, welcome to the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And for me, it's nice having you. A very cold day here. How are you able to make it here to the studio?
Very, very cold and wet. Like, it's been raining since morning. So I just had to find my way here since the week of the World Juniors. We have a lot to talk about.
And you can't afford to miss this for me. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, the World Juniors is taking place, starting on Tuesday. And of course, we have a 13-man team representing Nigeria. 10 of the home-based athletes left Lagos on Sunday evening. And they will be, hopefully, they'll be in competition, by the time everything starts on Tuesday. Now, our fear is that will these athletes get there on time, to be able to compete in their events. But then we have some members of the team, about 13 of them. We have Raymond Odiong in the boys 100 meters. Of course, Raymond, he won the junior trials this year. We have Aniekeme Alphonsus in the 100 and 200. We have Ntiabong in the 100 and 200 girls. We have Tobi doing the 100 meters hurdles and the 100 meters. We have Abiola Shoyemi 4x1, Emmanuel Arolo 100, 200, 4x1. And then Bashiru Abdullahi, 110 hurdles, and then Timothy Emogene in the 400 meters hurdles.
Praise
Damadudu in the 200, 400 girls. What do you guys think of the team? Chris, let's start with you.
Well, about the team, 13 man, I think is short. It's poor for a country like Nigeria to go with just 13 athletes.
In the junior competition.
Exactly. US, they are going with over 70 athletes. Why are we going with 13? 13, and you said they left from Lagos. They actually left
Sunday night
from
Abuja.
From Abuja, Sunday night.
And I know Fumi has something to say about their itinerary, their movement. I don't know. You want to tell us, share more light on their travel?
I think it's going to be a shady one actually, because they were meant to come to Lagos, then connect a flight to probably London, then from London to Poland. But they had to change everything at the last minute, and they decided to leave from Abuja to Dubai, from Dubai to probably somewhere in Europe. From there, in all, they are going to spend 2 days.
Imagine putting these athletes through this process. You don't do things at the 11th hour and you expect good results.
And then they don't get to competition on the
day of competition. Why are we always doing this?
And especially with the World Juniors, World Youth, African Juniors, these things happen a lot. Over the years, we've seen that happen, like athletes getting their competition. This is even better, they're getting their competition day. There are some that have gotten there after competition started, and then they miss out of the events they're supposed to compete in and then just compete in the relays. Or even if they get to compete in individual events, they are not fit because of the exhaustion, the travel, the stress, and everything.
The thing is, they know about this schedule, they know the timetable, they know that, by July 19th, you should be going or you should be in Poland for the World Juniors. Why are you leaving 2 days before? And why do you have to go around the world to get to Poland?
I think probably the only person that might not be affected by this is Tobi since she left from the US. And those coming from the US, but that's just like three of them.
10 others came from Nigeria.
It's and at the end of the day, if we don't see fast times from these athletes, we shouldn't really blame them.
No, at all.
When you have to travel like 2 days journey, not even by road, by air, you have to sit down like hard, different things. Mentally, the athlete is not okay. Physically, everything is just not good. So it's just going to take like God's grace and the spirit of Nigeria, as we call it, that they can always adjust to every situation. If not, I think the best they can get from that World Juniors is the relay. Probably we just a winning medal.
Okay, but let's just hope that if somehow they can get to compete, in their individual events like the men's 100, women's 100. Chris, what would you say about our chances in the men's 100? Raymond, Emmanuel, Aniekeme, Messi in the 100, Tobi too in the 100, women's 100.
Chances, people who I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and what do you think they can do there?
I'm looking at Tobi Amuson now.
Okay, but let me just take this now. Like Aniekeme, I said she's ranked number 7.
Yes.
In terms of
hopes about Aniekeme.
Messi is number 4 in the 200. Tobi is number 1 in the 100 meters hurdles and 14th in the 100 meters. Raymond is number 20. So based on these statistics,
for the men's 100 meters, I really do not have much hopes. But for the women's 100 meters, I have hopes on Aniekeme doing something. Aniekeme and Forsos and Tobi Amuson.
Okay, in the 100 meters hurdles.
In the 100 meters hurdles.
Okay, what of Messi number 4? Okay, with number 4 in the 200 meters.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, aside Tobi, I see Tobi gets into the final of both events. Like,
is she going to do 100 meters?
100 meters and
yes,
100 meters.
She's ranked 14th in the 100 meters. A season's best of 11.50.
Based on her current form and the fact that she has done more 11.5 like this year. But if you are talking about Aniekeme did 11.3 once, like we all know, and ever since she has been doing 11.51 or below 11 years. So I don't say it's going to be pretty difficult for Aniekeme to get to the finals. I'm looking at it that way. But Messi, based on the rankings, she's 4th and she did 23.1. The question now is, when last, as like how many times has she done that 23.1 again? So it's
Aniekeme is ranked number 7.
Yeah, based on the time.
When Aniekeme did 11.3, Khalifa was even doing 11.5 or 11.6 then. It was at the Trinidad and Charles.
Aniekeme can step down now to do another 11.3.
It's possible, but it's a situation where she might get to the semi-final, but I don't see her getting to the final.
She can get to the final.
The men's sprint also outhold the same line, but I might just give an exception for one person. If that person participates or does the 100 meters, and that will be Biola Shiremi, because of what he did at Nigerian trials. So I see him in a much better form than
at the Nigerian trial. Abiola Shiremi ran 10.40.
Yeah,
PB.
It's PB.
Saudi Arabia's Akbar is running 10.04.
That's what I'm saying, that it's a situation where he might be getting to the finals. But let's not forget all these factors that we've listed before.
If you have hopes that Shiremi could get to the finals, and I mean, why don't you have hopes that Aniekeme and Forsos can equally get to the final? because you just mentioned Khalifa Ford running.
No, she's looking at the timing that the
timing when the job is
earlier in the season, and she has not replicated it since then. But these other people are lowering their time.
So this is July.
And she's competed in lots of events since then, but she's not been able to.
It's the same thing with Raymond. Raymond did 10.3. Sorry, I beg your pardon. 10.3. That was around May. That was the junior trials. So since then, we've not even seen Raymond compete. So how sure are we about his form?
Okay, but looking at what Raymond did at the national trials, junior trials, we're not even mentioning him here. Don't you think that Raymond can actually be in the scheme of things, like he could actually pull off an upset?
No, I don't think so.
In Poland?
No.
If he keeps his head, the best he can get to the final.
A final best.
Yeah.
But if he gets to the final, that won't be bad, would it? I think that would be very impressive, seriously.
I don't think Raymond
the factors we've talked about, so far. I think what would you guys say about the relays? At least in both the boys 4x1 and the girls 4x1.
For the relays, yes. For the relays, yes. But for the individuals, it's just Tobi Amuson.
Tobi Amuson, yeah, right.
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, Ofonime Odiong will be competing in the 200 meters. This is going to be her first outing for Bahrain. She was a former national junior champion, former African youth champion, in the 400, in the 4x4. And now, of course, she switched allegiances and was cleared only last month. So she's going to be making her debut for Bahrain. So she won't be done in green and white. We'll see her in red and white there. She's ranked 5th.
And we'll see, I love Bahrain.
Meters, yeah. And what do you guys think about that? You know, how weird will it be competing against her now, you know, as someone from a different country? And then what do you think Nigeria has lost, you know, in some of these young athletes who are now switching allegiances?
The thing is that we've lost another Kemi Adekoya. That's it. Athletes will definitely switch. That's for sure. It's going to happen. It's just for AFN to do their best to keep the best ones they could. People like Raymond, that you know they are for the future, you know, people like that, you can keep them if you want to. It's not if you want to, you can, you know, they should do everything within their powers to keep such and not allow them, you know, go on to become people courted by other countries. Other countries will definitely come for them.
I we know that, sorry to cut you short. No. We know that most of these scouts from other countries, they come to World Juniors to really search for who they really want. Because I remember rightly that Ofonime was
at the last World Juniors.
Which was
probably her last competition for Nigeria.
For Nigeria, and I think that probably that was where
last World Juniors.
Yes, for Nigeria, she got to the final of the 400. She finished 5th.
She finished 5th in the 400.
She's still a junior now.
Yeah, she's still a junior. I remembered when she first competed. Like she was a product of Cross River State developmental program. They had a program like that where they raised a number of them, you know, young athletes like that. So I remembered when she first hit the national scene. It was at the AYAC in Warri, where she won the youth championship. She's young.
So imagine say a situation where one of these are junior athletes. Okay, we don't want my students.
We might see pressure.
With this kind of preparation.
Yeah, we might see pressure. Was there?
That's another thing
in Bahrain as well. We hope certainly that our athletes can do their best. You know, they cannot do more than their best based on preparation.
You're listening to the Niger Athletics Weekly podcast, a production of Making of Champions.
Moving away from the World Juniors now, let's move to the team that has been selected by the AFN for the forthcoming Olympic Games in Rio. We saw that the AFN listed 35 athletes for the competition. And of course, thankfully, everyone who made the IAAF standard got into the team. But a source of concern for me is the women's relay, or at the women's relay teams, the 4x1 and 4x4, where we had 9 athletes listed in the 4x1 and then 8 athletes listed in the 4x4. In the 4x1, we have Blessing Okagbare, Jennifer Madu, Gloria Sumu, Peace Uko, Agnes Osazua, Zainab Sani, Cecilia Francis, Khadija Suleiman, and Olivia Ekone. Chris, left to you. What 6 or which of the 6 athletes would have made your relay team?
Before I even answer that, let me start by saying that I am surprised that we listed 9 athletes for one event. It's only Nigeria that you can get such. Other countries listed 6. Why are we listing 9?
Fumi said maybe they want to present 2 relay teams.
Maybe they want to. If they should just put something like a caveat. These ones are on probation. Let's see whether these ones are going to, you know,
I agree,
convince us to put them in the top 6. But just listing 9 is unheard of. And to answer your question about my top 6, obviously the first person is going to be Blessing Okagbare,
of course,
Gloria Sumnu,
yeah,
Agnes Osazua, and
Peace Uko.
I'm coming.
No, for me, wait, you list your team.
I've named
Blessing, Gloria, Agnes,
Jennifer Madu.
Okay.
Because I was impressed with the way she ran the
4x1, yeah,
in Sapele. Then the other 2 is going to be Zainab Sani.
Okay.
She's not that tall, but she's very, very fast.
Okay.
And then the 6th
and your last woman standing.
Let's go local. Pisuko.
Okay. Fumi, what of you?
Maybe because Fumi put her on me.
Fumi, what of you? Who will be your top 6?
You'll be surprised because it depends. Depending, I'll actually go with his selection, but excluding one person, Zainab Sani. And it depends on the person I'm about to put in. Depends on what she runs at the World Juniors. Okay. So instead of Zainab Sani, I might actually go for Tobi Amuto. If she drops,
she's not going to do the 4x1 in Rio.
Exactly.
She has not been listed. So based on the athletes list,
that's what we want. That's
based on the athletes listed now, who would make your top 6?
I think I'll go with Chris. That's the top 6.
Sorry, Yemi. Who are the other 3
left out?
Yes,
that will be Olivia Etonye, Cecilia Francis, and Khadija Suleiman.
Okay, I'm good. I'm not feeling bad for leaving anybody out.
I'll go with the selection.
Okay, but in the 4x4 we have Patience George, we have Margaret Bamboshe, we have Omolara Omotosho, we have Regina George, we have Yinka Ajayi, Rita Osai, Ibukun Mayongbe, and Ekundayo Shogbeson.
How many are they? 9?
8.
So you're leaving out 2 now.
Yes.
Fumi, go first so that you not so that you not mimic me and.
Ibukun Mayongbe and Ekundayo Shogbeson out. Based on form.
Okay.
Their times the same.
Okay. Chris, would you agree? I think I would go with Fumi's list too. Patience George, Margaret Bamboshe, Omolara Omotosho, Regina George, Yinka Ajayi, and Rita Osai.
Because I was in Durban and I saw the mix-up, how Yinka Ajayi handed over the baton to Patience. I'm tempted to leave her out and bring in Ibukun Mayongbe.
Really? What, based on experience or what?
Yes, because I watched the race live and I saw what happened. It was as a result of the baton exchange.
Don't forget, you told me in Sapele that the baton exchange between Patience and Margaret was almost the same thing that happened in Durban. So I did not say because of what happened in Sapele between Patience and Margaret.
She is someone I want in my own team. Even if she runs 55, I'll still put her in my team. So I can't leave her Margaret, but I'm just giving you a reason why I'm leaving her Yinka.
Okay, but guys, now let's look at Blessing. Blessing has been listed for the sprints, 100, 200, long jump, 4x1.
3 events.
Yeah.
That's 4 now.
Plus the
100, 200, long jump.
Yes. And I am thinking that she might eventually just go for one of the sprints at the end of the day. Like maybe she might look at which one she stands a better chance in, and then eventually go for that plus the long jump.
Drop the long jump.
She says she's going to do the long jump in Rio. She told me that she will do it.
She hasn't done 7 meters, and there are ladies doing 7 meters that she's going to find it difficult to medal.
It's easier to jump 7 meters in long jump, like you can just have one jump and to get to the 7 meters mark. But she has to go 2 rounds for sprints. Like,
is she going to beat Whitney Reese?
Ivanovic.
Long jump is an event that
Sarah Proctor, people who they are coming to the Olympics for just long jump. Okay, let's even leave out Tiana Batuleta. She's going to do the relay.
Yeah.
But this Blessing is going to do 4 events now. Like, she's not going to give 100%,
But she did it at World Champs in 2013. She did 3 events.
She did 100, 200, and the long jump.
And she won 2 medals in.
That was in 2013.
But I see a situation where she might just have a jump 7 meters mark, and she's sure that this might get me the medal, and she opts out of the remaining jumps and she concentrates on the sprint. But sprint is a situation where if she doesn't qualify to the next stage, she's out.
Okay, but for me, between the sprints now, which do you think she stands a better chance in?
I think the 200
she's done 200 meters races this year, in Sapele, and then
which one did you say?
I think the 200 meters.
I think 100.
You think she'll do better in the 100?
Yes.
Well, that will be up to Blessing. But before we leave, let's look at the relays too. Do you think we stand a chance? Women's 4x1, women's 4x4.
Women's 4x4 we do if we get our acts right. Let's not even have a repeat of what happened last year at the World Championship. We stand a good chance. And thankfully, South Africa won't be there.
Not too sure about that. I think somehow they didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
Okay. Yeah, but Chris, we have others. We have the Jamaicans, we have the Americans.
Yes, top 2 Jamaica.
We have
America,
even the Polish to contend.
Yeah, the third one can go to anybody.
Okay. So you feel we are fighting for bronze now.
Yeah, we're fighting for bronze. 4x4 women, I'm sure we could.
Alright, let's pray we even get to the final.
We could get to the final.
Do you know Ghana just posted a national record of 42?
Yeah, I know.
Beat Ghana. I'm not trying to set anything up for our Ghanaian friends. But for me, we're going to beat Ghana. If it's like between Nigeria and Ghana, we can beat them.
Let's hope.
Because I remember last year's African Games in Congo Brazzaville. I was at the mixed zone with some Ghanaian juniors, and it was like a bet. See, Ghana is going to beat Nigeria, and I said no. Nigeria is going to beat Ghana, and eventually we won good. And Ghana was like, "Oh, you guys cheated. You have Blessing Akabare in your team." So, I mean, you have Blessing. Ghana.
So Blessing is what, the game changer, right?
Ghana can't beat us.
All right. Well, that's all we can take on this episode of the show. We hope you join us same time next week. By then, we'll have the results from the World Juniors. From me and the rest of my colleagues here, we're saying goodbye and do have a blessed week.
This is the Niger Athletics Weekly Podcast, a production of Making of Champions, Nigeria's leading sports media and management company. For all the latest athletic stories, go to makingofchamps.com and follow us on social media at Making of Champs on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and YouTube.